OK, let's talk about Harry and Meghan. So they have got rid of how many more staff members and why?
Well, this sort of links to that story I was talking about on this show a couple of weeks ago that I had in Mail on Sunday, which is that they're restructuring their staff to become a sort of royal household. And of course, now what's happened is, as part of the restructure, a few heads had to roll. And one of them is Charlie Gibson, who is their sort of head of UK PR.
Right.
And has overseen, I suppose, some blunders. I would have thought we'd put them...
If he put the UK PR, he's not done a great job for it.
Well, he's been there for a year, and he was such a surprise appointment anyway, because he used to do the PR for Pedigree Charm and Mars bars. It was just a strange appointment anyway. So anyway, he's gone, and their man in America, Kyle's gone. And they've now got a friend of Harry's who actually went to Sandhurst Military Academy, so very much of that ilk, running their UK PR.
Why can't they keep hold of anyone? What's the
Well,
issue?
I think in this example, it's not people walking, which has happened many times. It's them sort of cutting the wheat from the chaff. And what they want to do is create this really firm structure so that when people come and go, we don't all go crazy saying yet another person's walked or yet another person's been fired. They just say, look, this is the structure. Of course, inevitably, as in all jobs, some people come and go.
How many people would be...
You can tell I'm smiling because he's semi-convinced by their take on events.
How many people would be in that sort of target structure?
Well, there's about sort of 10 now, but what they've said in their statement today, they've issued this really lofty statement from Meredith, who's their new boss, saying, oh, we're now going to have 8 members of staff globally responding to press inquiries and stories, on all different time zones all across the world. And I've got to say, I mean, for somebody who wants to be private, I do think Harry's got an awful lot of people now.
Yeah, right.
Globally responding in time zones all over the world to press inquiries.
OK, Charlotte, thank you.
Hey, Royal Sussex Squad. Welcome back, family. You already know what it is. This is the home of truth, clarity and unshakable support for Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, our global royals, our warriors of grace, integrity and love. If you're just tuning in for the first time, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss a chance to stand up for truth. And for the day ones, thank you for riding with us and standing with our faves through the fire and the fog. Today's episode? It's all about how Harry and Meghan are once again showing the world how to lead, how to pivot, how to move with purpose, and how to leave the haters choking on their own headlines. So let's talk about this so-called restructure that's got the tabloids trembling and the keyboard warriors foaming at the mouth. According to GB News, and yes, we already know what kind of circus that is, Harry and Meghan have sacked 5 members of their staff and appointed a new head of communications. Sounds like a power move, right? But instead of recognising leadership and evolution, these bitter outlets are spinning it as a crisis. They want you to think Archewell is falling apart, that the Sussexes are in disarray, and that the dream is crumbling. But baby, don't fall for the bait. This isn't a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. Let's break it down like this. Imagine you're running a multi-million-dollar foundation. You're creating global media, doing boots-on-the-ground charity work, advocating for mental health, women's rights, refugee support, digital responsibility. And you're building a legacy that isn't just about now, it's about your children's future. Wouldn't you need the right people? Wouldn't you need a team with the vision, the expertise and the global understanding to carry that load? Of course you would. So this isn't about firing people, it's about levelling up. What the British media won't say out loud is that this move by Harry and Meghan is smart, it's strategic. They are refining their machine, they are tuning their engine for speed, focus and impact. Because this next chapter, it's not about survival, it's about dominance, global reach, cultural relevance and legacy. The press keeps forgetting Harry and Meghan aren't just royals, they're visionaries. Meghan didn't marry into that family to sit around and look pretty for the cameras. She had a voice, a purpose, and an unmatched work ethic before she ever met Harry. And Harry? That man saw the inner rot of that system, the hypocrisy, the abuse, and he chose his wife and his peace. He chose his truth. Now together, they are building something so much bigger than any tiara or title could ever hold. And here's what makes this restructuring such a flex. They didn't make a big announcement, they didn't release a palace memo, they made the changes quietly, efficiently, professionally. Then the press got wind of it, and you'd swear the world had stopped spinning. Why? Because Harry and Meghan made a move they couldn't control. Once again, the Sussexes reminded the British establishment that they are out of reach. and out of their league. Let's talk about this global response team. What does that tell you? It tells you that the Sussex brand is not just about America or the UK, it's about the world, it's about scale. It's about having the infrastructure to respond to major issues, social, humanitarian, digital, instantly and effectively. That's not crisis management, that's world building, that's empire-level planning. You don't assemble a global response team unless you're playing in the big leagues. Archewell isn't just a passion project anymore. It's a global institution in the making. And let me tell you, when you're building something of that magnitude, you can't afford dead weight. You can't afford people who don't get it, who can't handle it, or who bring old energy into a new era. You need top-tier professionals with fresh thinking and global agility. That's exactly what this new structure reflects. Let's not forget the big picture. Harry and Meghan have survived everything the press could throw at them: character assassination, racism, misogyny, betrayal, threats, emotional abuse, and still they rise. They are still here, still working, still evolving, still commanding global attention. These media vultures who mocked them when they signed Netflix and Spotify deals are the same ones now obsessed with every move they make. Why? Because deep down they know Meghan and Harry have won. And let's call out the hypocrisy while we're at it. Because when King Charles changes staff, it's called a rebrand. When Prince William replaces aides, it's framed as a modernisation effort. But when Meghan and Harry do it, oh, suddenly it's chaos. Suddenly it's proof that they're failing. Let's be real, the double standard isn't even subtle anymore, it's blatant and it's bitter. What we're really seeing here is fear. Fear from a media system that realises Harry and Meghan are no longer dependent on the institution. They don't need royal approval. They don't need access to Buckingham Palace. They've got Netflix, they've got the NY Times, they've got Stanford, NAACP, Invictus, Better Up, Archetypes, and a whole global audience that doesn't care about curtsies and protocols. That's the future. That's what this restructure is preparing for. The old model is dying, and the Sussex model is thriving. Let's talk about the people Archewell has touched. The students receiving mental health support, the communities rebuilt after disaster, the voices amplified through storytelling. Meghan's Archetypes podcast wasn't just good, it was revolutionary. It peeled back centuries of stereotypes and let women reclaim their narratives. Harry's memoir Spare wasn't just a book, it was a cultural moment. And they did all this while raising 2 children and living through a storm of lies and attacks. That takes strength, that takes vision, that takes backbone. So yes, people will come and go from the Archewell team, but the mission stays. And if you think this restructuring is a sign of weakness, you're not paying attention. It's a sign of precision, a sign of evolution, a sign that the next era of Sussex excellence is already underway. And make no mistake, that new head of communications isn't there just to handle PR. They're there to elevate messaging to a whole new level. We're talking about controlling narrative, crafting strategy, responding to global moments, and telling stories with authenticity and power. Because the one thing Harry and Meghan have always known, and the thing the royal family still doesn't get, is that storytelling is the most powerful force on earth. So here we are. Another headline, another smear, another attempt to spin greatness into scandal. But the squad knows better. We see through the noise, we see the truth. Harry and Meghan are not just surviving, they are thriving. And this restructuring, this is only the beginning. The foundation is being laid, the roots are spreading. The crown they walked away from, it's rusting. But the legacy they're building, it's shining. In a world often divided, Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, stand out for their dedication to positive change. Their journey, though challenging, is driven by purpose and service. Archewell, their organisation, is more than a foundation. It's a living force for impact. Recent restructuring isn't a sign of trouble, but of thoughtful leadership and strategic growth. Like nature's cycles, growth requires change. Archewell is evolving to meet new challenges. Harry and Meghan are shaping their future, aligning every effort with their mission of compassion and equity. Let's look past misleading headlines. This is a moment of renewal and commitment. They're refining their approach, strengthening foundations, and preparing for the next chapter. This is evolution, not crisis. Two leaders are building a legacy of service, inspiring generations. Their story is one of resilience, vision, and hope. At Archewell's core are Prince Harry and Meghan, visionaries and architects of change. Their leadership is rooted in empathy, courage, and a drive to connect with people on a human level. They aim to move beyond tradition, forging a new, authentic path of global service. Their belief small acts of compassion can transform the world. Their work spans mental well-being, gender equity, and racial justice, interconnected causes. They address root problems, not just symptoms, building sustainable solutions. Despite public scrutiny, they remain steadfast and resilient. Their authenticity and vulnerability have sparked global conversations, especially around mental health. Leadership for them is about purpose, not power, uplifting humanity and fostering connection. They show us that staying true to one's values, even under pressure, is the ultimate strength. Success demands adaptation. Archewell's restructuring is a sign of smart, proactive leadership. Like a captain preparing for a long voyage, Harry and Meghan are ensuring their organisation is ready for the journey ahead. They're fine-tuning every aspect, aligning teams with ambitious global goals. This evolution is common in thriving organisations and should be celebrated. Their actions mirror best practices in both business and philanthropy. By optimizing operations, they maximize impact and efficiency. This is not about instability, but about building resilience for the future. They're committed to constant improvement and innovation. True visionaries, they're creating an organization designed to last. Their legacy will be one of lasting positive change. Let's recognize this restructuring as a mark of responsibility and excellence. Archewell is poised for decades of global impact. As Archewell's vision grows, so does the need for specialized talent. Recent team changes reflect healthy evolution, bringing in new expertise for new challenges. Like an orchestra adding new musicians, it's about enhancing capabilities, not replacing contributions. Harry and Meghan are assembling a world-class team to realize their mission. This careful curation ensures Archewell can tackle global issues with skill and unity. It's a testament to their clear-sighted leadership and long-term strategy. By welcoming fresh perspectives, they're strengthening their organization for greater impact. This is a forward-thinking move, positioning Archewell for a future of achievement and influence. The same actions are judged differently depending on who takes them. When royals restructure, it's seen as wise management. When Harry and Meghan do, it's called a crisis. This double standard distorts reality and undermines their work. Sensational headlines ignore the strategic reasons behind their decisions. The public deserves a balanced perspective, not manufactured drama. Harry and Meghan are demonstrating agile, effective leadership. Let's look past the noise and recognize their confident, capable moves. Supporting them means challenging unfair narratives and celebrating true leadership. The Sussexes' journey is a lesson in resilience. Despite intense scrutiny, they remain focused and positive. Their strength comes from transforming adversity into connection and advocacy. Their experiences fuel their work in mental health and media responsibility. Each challenge has deepened their resolve to make a difference. They show it's possible to stand by one's principles under pressure. Like strong trees weathering storms, they've grown more resilient. Their actions, not critics, define them. Their quiet, steadfast leadership inspires others facing their own battles. Their commitment to service remains unshaken. The true measure of Harry and Meghan's work is its real-world impact. Through Archewell, they've sparked global conversations and changed lives. Harry's docuseries and memoir have encouraged openness about mental health, especially among men. Meghan's podcast, Archetypes, challenged stereotypes and empowered women to reclaim their narratives. The Archewell Foundation supports communities, building playgrounds, aiding crisis relief and championing online safety. These are concrete actions, not just ideals. Each project is a thread in a larger tapestry of compassion. Their platform is used to build a more just and equitable world. Archewell's restructuring will amplify these efforts for even greater impact. Their work is already making a lasting difference. The Sussexes are building a legacy of positive change for generations. Their vision, a world where empathy and opportunity flourish for all. Supporting their mission starts with engaging directly, listening, learning and sharing their work. Stand against negativity and focus on their real impact. Let's be inspired by their resilience and hope. Their journey reminds us that each of us can make a difference. The restructuring marks a pivotal moment of growth and ambition. Let's stand with them, championing their vision. Supporting Harry and Meghan means supporting a movement for compassion and equity. Their story is still being written, and we can all be part of it. Together, we can help build a more hopeful future. Because this isn't just about them, it's about justice, it's about values, it's about changing the game. And we're not going anywhere. This is the Royal Sussex Squad, and we ride for Harry and Meghan until the wheels fall off. Stay strong, stay loud, stay royal, and I'll see you in the next one.